Hello, boozers, and welcome once again. I have gone live, and I gave you a little bit of warning for those people who've missed out on it. You'll be able to join in a bit. Today, we have a little bit of an extra person joining us. We've got Jessica on the line here. She's going to be joining us, and well, she already has. So, Jessica, welcome.
Thank you.
So today, we have a few things to talk about that has been in the news for the past few days, and I only got to it today because, well, I have work and it sucks because I can't stream live while I'm at work. They frown upon that for some strange reason. First of all, we're going to go with what beers we're enjoying today. So, Jessica, I will allow you to start since you're the guest, and what beer will you be partaking?
Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Let me see if I can. Can't get it in the camera. There we go.
So it's in a can format. What's the percentage on that?
Hang on just a second. If I can find it. I'm looking. Let's see. And I'm not finding it.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, let's...
5.6%.
So a little bit above average.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I should show people what I'm having. You gave me the option, I gave you the option of having a regular beer or a pumpkin beer. You chose pumpkin.
Yeah, it's because it's still October. So
yeah. Well, I guess I have to show you which pumpkin beer I chose for the show. And for the people out there, they're going to sit there and smack their foreheads.
Well, you asked. You asked me to choose.
I did. So I've got Shock Top Pumpkin Ale.
Shock Top?
Yep, spiced pumpkin.
You don't look too thrilled.
It's Shock Top. How am I supposed to be thrilled about this?
You got it. So what does that say?
It says I'm torturing myself. So, yeah, just let me crack into this. If you want to let people know what you think of your beer, I will let them know what I think of this piece of garbage before you even open it.
Okay. Well, actually, the Sierra Nevada, it's the Pale Ale. It's one of, yeah, I actually did on, oh my goodness, now I forget what it is. Oh, too long of a week. Anyway, yeah. It's one of my favorites as far as like the lighter beer. Plus, they also have it now where it's distributed in Mills River, which North Carolina, which is not too far from me.
Well, that's not too bad. So you can actually get it quite easily then.
Oh yeah, it's a common, easily available beer here. A lot of this Sierra Nevada is that, but my favorite, it's one of them. My favorite, it's not out yet.
Which one's that one?
Well, it's Sam Adams Cold Snap. I love that beer.
Sounds like a nice winter beer, if you ask me.
Well, I think it doesn't come out until like March, or because Cold Snap is supposed to break like the cold cycle, which here, that's still the middle of winter, unfortunately.
Well, it's the same way here. We're still in winter until May, maybe June.
Yeah, you got snow way before we haven't gotten it this winter or this fall yet. You already had it, didn't you?
A couple of times, but it's gone now, so I'm not even gonna think we actually had snow. I'm dealing with birds that are trying to get nests to hibernate in my building, so I've got to deal with that before I think of snow.
At least they're not woodpeckers. Oh, that is not. That's slightly annoying when they decide to try to take shelter right outside your window.
Oh, they are woodpeckers.
Oh, they are?
Hmm. They're an endangered species of woodpeckers, so we can't take care of them the way I would like to. So yeah, no, I've been
But just
battling.
try to like do something with nature. Just say what you let nature take its course. You just kind of lend a little helping hand.
I'm not allowed to because they find out. They take it back and study it. So I'm pretty
Well,
much
that's when you sneak when it's not like nobody else can see.
yeah. Well, I have to deal with it my own way. So we've been dealing with it with water guns, foil. I think I'm now up to plastic bags, and it's been trying to rip the plastic bags out, and it's starting to get frustrated with me, and I'm starting to win the battle. And a little bit later on, I get to put foam inside the hole that I put it in and go from there. However, for now, I'm going to let people know what I think of my shock top. Yeah,
And
shock.
why your logic behind choosing that.
Well, it was in
Show.
the cheap bin. It was once again an October beer. I have some other better October beers, I swear, that I will be reviewing, but I thought I'd save this for a day like, well, today. So yeah, this one smells spicy. Actually, it doesn't smell too bad. It smells almost like a pumpkin pie in a sense.
Well, I'm
Um,
not going to ruin it since I already had that one. I'm not going to say. I'll let you voice your opinion.
well, I'll find out in 2 seconds here. Cheers. You get a spice, you get a small pumpkin, but then it goes bland. It's it's a shock top. It's not a beer. I can't class these things as beers. I really try, and I'm giving it a shot, but I denounce this as a real beer. Shock top just doesn't seem that way as a beer to me. It's just the way I feel about it. I can't. They yeah, doesn't leave a very good taste in my mouth or anything. Speaking of taste and bad taste in people's mouths, let's discuss what I thought we would discuss a little bit earlier. We've got a major merger happening with the macro breweries. Now, for the people that don't know, it is two breweries coming together. It's AV InBev and SABMiller brewing up for a $1 billion deal. Now, I don't know exactly what they're thinking with this. I know that they're pretty much trying to take over the world of brewing down the States and possibly up in Canada and maybe over in Europe as well. But $1 billion to merge together, I mean, that's worse than having a major hockey player take a $25 billion deal because he scored 50 goals the last season and he sucks the next season. This one is just, yeah, I'm not happy with this. I mean, they're dwarfing major producers like Heineken and Carlsberg, which are some big competitors over in Europe, and they bring their stuff over here. And they're turning around trying to, I guess, snuff out the craft beer market, becoming some major players in this. There's a lot of people that are angry about this. I, for one, am actually a little upset about this because of the fact that I enjoy my craft beers. I don't know about you, but for me, I don't like it. I really don't. What do you think?
Well, I'm not happy about it at all because if I'm big big into like supporting the small local craft breweries. I mean, that's where I choose to put my money, not into these billion-dollar things. So
Yeah,
no, I'm not too happy about it.
it's one of those ones where you look at it going, what the hell are they trying to prove? And obviously, they're trying to prove that they can be major players in this, and it's just not right. It really isn't. I've been reading some of the people that are really upset about this, and it's legitimately people that are upset about this because of the fact that they're trying to say we're the big top dogs and you got nothing on us. But it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing at the same point in time, because if you ask me, they're going to show the support, and people are going to turn against them, for one, and for two, the craft beer market's going to gain more of a reputation because of the fact that people are going to turn to them saying, well, these guys have done this, we're going to support you because they're trying to snuff you out, and they're just being major bullies in the beer market. I don't know. Like, I hope that it really bites them in the ass. I don't know
Yeah,
how.
exactly. Well, there's always time to start an anti-bullying campaign.
There is. There most certainly is. And I think that there's going to be people that will be doing this.
And one way to do that, take your support away from them, put your dollars and invest your money into the small local craft breweries. Support them because they're the ones that offer the more personalized service, the quality beer. They put their own time and effort into it, their own recipes. And seeing one go from the ground up, literally being built from like nothing to where it is now, I have a deeper appreciation for all the work that goes into it.
I do too, and I know that I like taking some tours of all the smaller breweries. They've shown that how big they can be, how I guess how they've manned up to be a craft brewer and to share their styles and everything with everybody. They don't just turn around and mass produce things like Cranog, for example. They actually posted this and they were upset about this, but they also said and spun it their way, saying support local craft beers because these guys don't deserve our business. And they're absolutely right. I mean, I don't know, like Sam Adams, for example, I don't know how much of a big brewery they are, but they're starting to get a bit bigger. But
yeah, that's the one drawback. When you get too big, then you kind of lose. You're more into like going after making money than quality of like loyal customers. You're just out for more customers, not necessarily loyal ones.
that's true. And I mean, that's what these guys want. They want more customers, or they want to combine their customers for the people who drink the Budweiser or the Blue Moons or anything else like that. They want to just sort of say, hey, we've got the mass amount of people, because over the years, the graphs have been changing. You have Budweiser that's now not the king of beers because the craft breweries have taken over the market. So now these guys are saying, well, we've combined ourselves, and if you look at the graphs, we're higher than the craft markets, and we're going to snuff them out. But $100 billion, I mean, that is almost Dr. Evil territory right there from Austin Powers. That is something that he would kind of do. It's just, wow.
Well, I'm going to go for quality, not quantity. So when I go for quality, I'm going to go for like supporting the local craft breweries, the ones that, like I say, put real thought into customer service, not how many customers can you get.
It's true. It's really true. It's one of those ones. That's. I will choose quality over quantity. I really will. The Big Rock up here is kind of the same thing. They do quality and they do quantity though, but they balance it out where they've got everybody's market. For people that don't know it, it's pretty much they've got the low-end beers that people drink, and they've got the high-end beers which they make, which people drink as well. So it's just one of those things that like they've got a roundabout thing, but these guys, wow. There's going to be a lot of pissed off small breweries that are just going to come after them. Just like pretty much the Justice Department is coming after them. Because as you saw, they're looking into what their deal is and inquiring about it, and there may actually be some legal action against this huge deal.
Yes.
And sorry. What were you saying?
No, I said good. There should be. It's just wrong. The whole thing just gets me mad, annoyed.
It's true, and it gets me mad and annoyed too. But seeing the fact that the Justice Department is investigating, I mean, for the people who don't know, again, I will be posting these links at the bottom at the end of the show in our on the YouTube page. But I've got an article here: Justice Department investigating AV InBev for trying to block craft beer. Excuse me.
I read that. Yeah.
And it's under, so I'll just read part of it here. It's under investigation by the U.S. Justice Department over allegations that the Belgian brewing company is trying to limit competition from craft brewers through buying beer distributors to keep smaller brands from getting their products to market, according to a report from Reuters. Citing unnamed sources close to the matter, the news service noted that investigation is in the early stages. Antitrust regulators are also reviewing craft brewers' claims that AV InBev, which is based in Belgium, has its North American headquarters in St. Louis, pressures some independent distributors to cut ties with craft brewers in favor of carrying AV InBev products exclusively, Reuters report, which is cheating in a way. AV did not immediately respond to a request for comment because they're trying to cover their tracks and probably going and shredding all their documents that they have of this. AB InBev has acquired a handful of independent distributors of its products since 2009. In some cases, it has fought bitter legal and political battles to do so, including Kentucky, where the company ultimately failed in its efforts to buy an Owensboro distributor. It eventually sold both its Kentucky holdings after a new state law blocked it from owning any wholesaler of its products in Kentucky. And if more states and provinces, because if they come after us, did this, we actually might survive this kind of thing. In recent years, AV InBev officials have spoken openly on the potential of profit running as much as its own distribution as a patchwork of state laws, many of which aim to keep producers, retailers, and wholesalers of alcohol separate, allow for. So honestly, good. Absolutely good, because I am sick and tired of these guys bullying the craft beer market. I want to see this happen. I want to see them get fined royally, and I want to see them shoved out of the States, and if they're in Canada, out of Canada as well, because this is obviously a bully tactic. But if they get shoved out, people like Budweiser and Coors are going to have to either go on their own or fold because of the fact that they no longer have these guys supporting them, which would be nice.
To me, and I'm thinking about when the whole thing started, I'm like, okay, if you guys were really smart, you'd at least try to snuff out these little craft breweries with quality beer. Not piss water, not colored water. Do it with something quality. At least make it look good. Like, I don't get it. You're doing it with crappy what you call an excuse, or what they call an excuse for beer, is not real beer. You can totally test the quality of the ingredients and the quality of just the whole, the smell, the taste, everything. It's just, with them, it's missing. With the craft, I mean, you can totally tell the quality difference.
Oh, you can. And speaking of which, maybe I should do this. Let's talk about quality for a second here, because
Okay.
I've got another beer here from Shy Beach. It's actually from out of Quebec. Oh, it's called Shy Beach. Sorry, it's from Le Trou. Oh, I hate pronouncing this damn name. Le Trouble Double. No, I probably butchered the hell out of it, and if I did, I'm really sorry to you guys. But this brewery has been up and coming for quite some time. They've got some great things going for them. I love the bottle cap. It's a nice little devil on it.
I'm jealous. Did you see the table I'm working on?
I did. And you got quite a few that you have to go for it, don't you?
Yeah, I think I did like about, I estimated, and it's like 500 and some, and I've got like almost 400 caps, 400 different ones.
Jesus. It's a lot of caps. Now that smells like a proper beer.
Bottle caps, beer girl, that kind of like, yeah, I don't drink that. Well, not to that extent. It took a long time. Plus, I got some as a gift. So.
Well, there you go. If I knew that, I would have sent some out your way. Would have been nice and easy to do too, because it gets through quickly. So yeah, this other beer that I've got, the guy at I named this a lot, Willow Park Brewery, Dave the beer guy. He told me that I should buy this, and I do. I follow his suggestion and his lead, and I buy things from him. So this is a Lifeguard Strong Ale at 6.5%. The Shy Beach was created following an oppressively humid day in July. This clear amber beer has a refreshing nose, which aromas of white grapefruit, cedar, and long peppers. Its thirst-quenching freshness offers the same profile with the addition of pleasant hints of citrus and menthol. Wait, menthol? Really?
Menthol? That's supposed to be in cigarettes, not in beer.
Well, you can have menthol in beer too. I've had a blueberry mint beer, and it wasn't that bad.
It just sounds weird.
It does. The sum of which stretches out of your palate as does the king of vacationers beneath the tropic sun. And so the ingredients are pretty simple. It's water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. So they don't have a lot in here, but they don't say what hops they use either. So they can use a variety of different hops. And you can
They don't
definitely...
say if it's like the Belgian hops or anything like that.
I don't know, but I know you can smell the hops in it. And it does smell fruity and earthy at the same point in time, which is kind of interesting. I like that. I actually do like that smell. It's actually quite refreshing. So I say we give it a shot, and that way I can get the taste of Shock Top out of my mouth.
Nice glass, by the way.
Thank you. I've used this a couple of times now. After I opened it, it took me a bit. But this is a gift from one of the guys that we helped out with last year, doing that craft beer advent calendar. He gave this as a gift, as well as 2 beers with it, and it was one of the best gifts I've ever had. And cheers to him for giving the beers and everything. This glass has been wonderful. I hand wash this sucker every day if I have to.
That's got kind of a nice, like, head on it. I like it.
It's got a good head. And the taste is wow. It's got a bitter taste to it, so the hops are prominent on it. But it does have a little fruity undertone.
Ooh.
But it's good. Like, that is a craft beer. That is what we need.
Do they use, like, do they say the kind of water they use? Because the brewery that I go to all the time does, like, the filtered spring water. And you can totally taste the freshness, the crispness. And I mean, it affects the entire taste of the beer.
I don't think they do tell me. Well, I know they don't, and it's actually, if you look at it, it's kind of unfiltered. So I don't know if they actually filter it or not either, because it's
Probably
cloudy.
not. It might be.
Well, judging by the bottle, sorry, I'm just gonna put it up to the studio light here. It's got sediment at the bottom, so yeah, it's definitely not filtered. So, but no, it's what's that?
No, I was just gonna say they have like a couple that are unfiltered, and I think the one that it was unfiltered, and it was called Dolly's Pardon. It's a good beer. Yeah, the name is very catchy. I'm like, how'd you come up with that? And they're like, well, and it says, well, it's got some very prominent parts to it. And I'm like, seriously? That's why you named it Dolly's Pardon? And they're like, yeah, it's got some very prominent parts that stand out. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's one of the best ways I've heard of someone doing something like that. It's sick minds. I like it.
I like it. I'm like, that's a good selling point.
It is, and that's the great thing is you have these people that do good selling points, and it's nice to see. It really is. Excuse me. Pardon me. Carbonation. It's just that's the good thing about these beers is they come up with things like Shy Beach. Right there, it screams summer, but even though it's fall, it still screams summer, and it can take you back. Yeah, pumpkin spice ale, not so original.
Yeah, but I don't mind it overdone. It's like overkill, the pumpkin beers.
They are. I mean, I've got 3 back in the fridge there that I've got to review. So, and those are not shock top, and they're actually better quality. But
Now, shock top, you could do a Frankenbrew with, because then it wouldn't be that big of a look. With that and the Voodoo beer.
Oh God!
Oh no! I just gave you a really bad idea.
That's that.
I'm good for that.
Pumpkin mango spice. Oh no, thank you.
Hey, you've done crazier things with beer, and I've seen it.
This is true, but when you see the review of the mango beer, you'll understand. For the people who haven't watched it yet, because I haven't made it yet, just a little spoiler alert, I actually like the beer. That was actually one of the best Voodoo Series beer I have had with these guys. But that's just me. I mean, that's the way this beer works. But yeah, that shock top and mango, no, it's almost like how. Really? I'm glad this is the only amount of shock top I have for this beer. Okay, I'm glad that's it. I don't have anything else. I don't have to mix it with anything either. Yeah, no, that beer is just, you can taste there was no care and attention to put into it. They just threw some shit into basically a vat and had all the machines do its work and then suck it out by machines. They didn't take any, you don't feel the pride in a shock top beer. You feel the pride in this beer and other craft beers. Mm-hmm. And I just like that $100 billion deal. You're not going to feel pride in those beers. You're really not. Budweiser, you don't feel pride in. Most of them up here, you don't feel pride in. You feel like you want to get drunk, so you buy that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but people want to buy it to get drunk. All right, fine. You spent $24 on a 12-pack of beer, and you're getting drunk off of it. It's not kind of what I want to go for. I like to have my liver enjoy itself while I'm slowly killing it instead of just slowly killing it. It's one of those things. Like I'm very disappointed that they're going to try and do this, but I'm hopeful that something comes out of it. Like, I really am hopeful that something comes out of this, and they lose either a license, they lose something, they get heavily fined. Hell, but the problem.
In a very, well,
Sorry, what was that?
I said I hope it comes back to bite them in a very vital place. Then maybe they'll be like, that's about to the extent of the wake-up call that they need.
But that's the thing, is they think that they can bully their way through. And the hard part about it is if they come back saying, well, we're just going to slap a fine on you. It is pretty much a slap on the wrist, walk away, here's the fine. You look at this big merger, $100 billion is a drop in the hat for them. The fines,
they'll just be able to pay it off.
Pretty much. The maximum fine would be $1 million. It's like, okay, here you go. Here's $1 million bill. And
that's like finding Bill Gates.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly it.
Be like, here, that's just pocket change to me.
And it's true. Like I honestly hope they hit him with some sort of sanction, or they hit him with some sort of penalty that doesn't involve them giving money to the government. Because of the fact that they can do, okay, well, we're very sorry, here's a little bit of extra money. I hope they don't settle out. I really hope they don't settle out of court because of this. That would actually piss me off even more. Because it means that...
even worse.
Mm-hmm. It is. And that's the tough part. Like, these major companies think they can get away with anything they want. And this is just one of the deals that they think they can get away with. And they can't. They really can't. They shouldn't. Like, I would love to see a bunch of microbreweries come together, throw in their money, and say, you know what, we're fighting this on our own. We've got 800 different microbreweries that have pulled together close to $100 billion, and we're taking you guys to court because you're screwing us.
Maybe what needs to happen is more of us individuals that support the small craft breweries need to stand up, and like maybe if enough got together and took a stand against them, then they would, like, I'm not saying back down, but at least they need a wake-up call is what I'm saying. It's annoying me.
It's annoying a lot of us. It really is annoying a lot of us, and I would love to have this. And this is the thing, is we're actually, and that's going live and talking about it. We're talking about it, but I don't think they'll ever see this because I'm just a small guy. However, if it gets shared amongst a lot of small breweries, guess what? It starts getting talked about a lot more and a lot more and a lot more. And then they start to notice that there's people out there that are not happy with what they're doing. But at the same point in time, their legal team and everything else like that would be like, well, we're okay. We don't have to worry about this. Where honestly, they should. They really should, because there's going to be a lot of breweries and a lot of people out there that'll turn around and go, you know what? I'm not going to support your product. There might even be some smaller liquor stores that would go, no, you know what? We're pulling your product because you're being a bully, you're being mean, and that's not the way we do things. We're pulling your product, bringing a bunch of craft beers because these guys know what they want to do, and we might lose business, but if they understand why, we might actually gain more business.
Well, see, you're saying, okay, what I was thinking about when you were saying, like, you don't know how many people are going to see this, I'm like thinking, okay, well, you may be just one person, but if you start a chain, even a chain starts with one individual link. So, like, get more people to join in together, and you create a chain that's anti this brewery merger, whatever it is that's going on, all that stuff.
And you'd be able to work through it. Yeah, it's true. But they are what I said. Like, they are just a very big brewery that's a bully. But yeah, there's a few people that are talking about it, and it's starting to become a little bit worldwide, which is nice. I would love to see this happen more, and I would love to see a follow-up, and I would love to see them going, oh, we're sorry, we're not going to merge now, but I would also watch on the down low to see if they actually are merging. But a big company or two big companies like that cannot get away with not merging. That's the thing. They can't get away with doing it silently. They can't become silent partners. This is a big deal in this industry. So hopefully that they actually say, okay, we'll back off. But you never know. I mean, what would you, like, aside from small people talking about it, people turning around saying no, legal things, how long would you think it would take for them to either legally not be allowed to do it, or do it and then be heavily sanctioned for it, or have all the craft beer people, because there's a lot out there. There is a hell of a lot that not a lot of people know. There's, geez, all the small companies and all the bigger companies and all the ones that have made names can turn around and say, no, we're not doing this. How long do you think it would be before they would actually turn around going, oh, we're sorry, we didn't mean to?
Hmm. That, oh, I don't even know what to say to that. That just, oh. When you take, I don't know, when you take away, like when you, that's just all greed. That's like, the whole merger thing is greed and, like you're saying, bullying. And when you get into that, then it makes me want to take a stand for the, even more so for the small craft breweries, and like, it's not like it's ever going to happen, but want even more to take the bully down, take them out.
Oh, exactly. And that's the thing, is it is a bully tactic. And a lot of people don't find that, well, that good. But a lot of people who drink their beers don't care. That's the
Not
tough
me.
part. What's that?
I'm like, I will not. People have offered to buy me one, even when I went to the, like, the little, um, like craft, or like the little beverage store, the little store I usually stop at for my beer. And they're like, well, we have the Budweiser on sale. And I'm like, no, I'm looking for real beer. I'm like, oh, right, you refuse to buy any of that. I'm like, that's right. I want the quality, the real craft beer. This colored water. So when, and you know what? There, another thing that shows you service, when you go into your local craft brewery and they know you by name and they know your likes and your dislikes, that's saying something. That's something you would never see with the bigger brewers.
It's true. It absolutely is true. And you wouldn't see that. I can walk into a number of stores and people know who I am. Granted, I go in there saying, hey, I'm a reviewer. I like to get this stuff. And then they remember you afterwards. But you walk in there and you talk to people, and if they know their stuff, they will talk back and they will give you ideas. They'll give you this, they'll give you that. You walk into major, like, beer store chains or beer liquor stores, like, for example, up here, Co-op or Safeway. I think they have liquor stores up here. Sobeys, they've got some as well. Like the bigger names, I guess there'd be, granted, we don't have corner stores that actually carry liquor because we're not allowed to. We're just, the big chains are allowed to do that. They don't remember who you are. They're like, oh, well, whatever. But people like Jay Webb up here, craft sellers, who are just, these guys are awesome. They remember who you are. You've introduced yourself. You've talked to them. They've got a passion. And that's the tough part, is you've got, it's the same thing with the breweries. You've got these macro breweries that don't have the passion. They just have the drive. You got these big grocery chains that don't have the passion. They just want to sell. And you have these smaller guys that have the passion, have the want, and have the need to sell these stuff that they actually like. Same with the small craft beer folks that do the same thing. You can tell the communities, and it is becoming clearly divided between the two. And with this merger, it's going to become even more divided. And it may actually start some sort of craft beer war. or some sort of beer war, which would be nice because I wouldn't mind seeing some of the craft beer prices drop in price just so they can fight these guys.
True. But to me, I'm like, I'd rather go into a craft brewery or like a local small liquor store and be viewed as a real person and not just another dollar.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of people like to see. Well, most people like to see. Like I said, there's people out there that are just coming into the age of 18, like, oh, let's go drink. What should we drink? A bunch of Labatt's Blue or a bunch of Budweiser because it's cheap and we can't afford it. Or there's the students out there that can't afford it, so they go for the cheaper stuff. But they don't understand what the craft beer is like because they can't afford it. They want to, but they can't afford it. Or you have the people that, well, just want to get drunk off the cheap shit. And that's the sad part. Those are the ones that these bigger breweries are aiming for. And it kind of sucks, but they actually still do have a following.
That makes you more, I guess they don't realize or they're too blind to see. That just makes you more of a pathetic person. If that's what you're going after, if you're going after that and you care more about that kind of thing than you do about quality or customer service or like treating the customer with respect instead of just money in your pocket, that just lowers the kind of people you are. If you view another person as a dollar instead of a real person that could support you with their hard-earned money, well, anyways.
It's true, and well, I must actually kind of change my statement a little bit because there's one brewery out there, or there's one liquor store out there that actually has been noticing me, and we've actually been talking. There's one guy in one of the co-op liquor stores who knows who I am, and he's actually been really awesome about things too. He actually has a passion. So they do have some people that have passions, but at the corporate level, they don't have the passion. They just want to sell the alcohol to the people who want to drink, and they'll just generalize with everything around them. That's kind of sad in a way, but I can understand the way that, because some of these corporate guys do have markets, or not markets. Some of these corporate guys, let's try this again. Some of these corporate guys have basically a certain quota that they have to sell. So they kind of have to do the whole, I have to sell this, so I have to sell the cheap shit versus the more expensive shit, the craft versus the crap. And it's kind of sad that they have to do that, but at a corporate level, they're making it so they kind of, well, they don't have a choice. But with the breweries, they're making it so that they can keep things going when you're doing the big gun stuff. There's so many variables with this stuff, but that one thing with a merger is a big variable where it is going to start a war of some kind, and I really hope it doesn't kill a lot of the markets out there.
That's why, in a lot of ways, that merger just gives me more incentive to finish setting up the home brewing kit that I have and brew my own beer. So I don't have to worry about any of that.
And home brewing is a way that a lot of people like to do that. So it's pretty, and a lot of people, if you get into the home brew, then you actually learn more of the stuff, and then you actually have a passion and a drive for it, which is great. I talked to Steve at Craft Cellars just up north here, and he's like, I've done my own brewing. I've done okay, I want to do an IPA beer, but I want to do it with this hop. And then I start, so another brewer does it with this hop, and has an acquired taste for different things. And then he starts mixing them together as a home brewer. He starts to learn, and like other home brewers, they start to learn what goes into it and what's good, what's not, and what they enjoy and what others may enjoy as well, which is kind of nice to see. So hopefully this continues on. Like, I would love to see more home brewing stuff come to fruition as well. It'd be nice to see that.
Well, I mean, the whole home brewing, like I've been doing, for almost a year, I've been studying about like different kinds of hops and different kinds of yeast and like malts and things, and it's just like in the study that I'm doing, it's gotten me to have more of an appreciation and respect for the craft breweries because of how much time and effort and study and like knowledge it takes just to like make a batch of beer.
Yep. Yeah, no, and that's why craft beer is going to stay around for a very long time, because there is that passion and drive, and I hope it
It
does.
takes a lot. Me too, because you can't let idiots. Okay, that's the edited version. The idiots that with this merger and everything. That's just, I don't know. Can't let them win.
No,
Maybe we can let them win the battle, but we got to win the war.
and that's the thing is, I think that when this war finally comes out, we're going to come out and win it ourselves. Like, I don't see a problem with that. Like, this is going to be one of those ones where it's going to be back and forth, and it's going to be money over mind. And you've got the big brewers that have got the money, and you've got the smaller brewers that have the mind. They have the know-how, they have the passion, the drive, and they've got the people skills, which will probably overcome all. Sorry.
Yep.
So
no, I mean, go ahead.
No,
that's exactly. Anyways, same line of thought there. It's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. So I'm hoping that this all doesn't quite blow over, but it actually comes down to basically the smaller guys winning. It's going to be a David versus Goliath. Oh yes, I just used that term, kind of thing. And I can see David winning on this one if everyone bands together properly.
And all it takes is one little stone to make all the difference. To take the big one little stone to take a giant out. It just has to be the right one. You have to find the right one. But when you do, all it takes is that one tiny one.
And guess what? I hate to say it, but Goliath threw the first stone and they missed. Now it's our turn.
Amen to that.
So you mentioned earlier that Frankenbrew, that I should do a Frankenbrew with Shock Top. I've got 2 beers here.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot to tell you I did that when I was house sitting. Yeah, well, didn't turn out too good, but
Frankenbrew.
At least it was 2 a little bit better beers.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I'm like, it wasn't that bad, but I mean, it wasn't the best. I actually took a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, and I took a Guinness Extra Stout.
That wouldn't be too bad.
It wasn't the best, but it wasn't like as bad as I thought it would be. And I'm like, well, at least because it was better beer. I mean, it wasn't like I mixed Miller Lite and Budweiser. Oh, now that's the stuff nightmares. That's the beer nightmares are made out of. Like horrific nightmares.
That's made out of a lot of tears and a lot of salty, broken dreams. Well, this is probably not going to be good either, because I like this beer. I like the Shawnee Beach, and I actually have to give this one a good 3.5 to 4 out of 5. It's a good beer. It's not bad. The Shock Top, bland.
You're gonna mix them? Is that the Frankenbrew?
Welcome to the Frankenbrew.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Please tell me you're not doing that just because I suggested it, because I don't want to take all the blame for it.
You know I do Frankenbrews if I do more than one beer. It's not your fault.
Yeah, but I'm not mixing those two. Mixing a quality beer with an iffy beer. Hey, but you did the voodoo.
Oh, don't remind me of the voodoo. So yes, In this glass, we now have the Shock Top and the Shy Beach.
Well, the color's not so bad.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not, which is a nice thing.
But now, that might be a different story.
Uh-huh.
Oh dear. I'm glad it's you, not me.
Oh, it smells like dog turd in a cup. Oh, no. Well, so you've got spices in it. You've got, yeah, you got some things that are in it. Oh. All right, well, let's see what happens, shall we?
Okay, I want to see the look on your face.
I saw the look on my face after smelling it. Here's the taste.
Yeah, but tasting it's even worse. Do it. Do it. Come on.
No. Yep. God, that's disgusting. Oh my God, that's disgusting. That just like the
Is
shot.
it enough for a drain pour?
Oh,
Is it a drain pour? Disgusting.
I can't drain pour. Drain pour is illegal to do for reviewers.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's why you do it off camera when nobody knows.
I still have to drink it. I bought it. I still have to drink it. So the Shock Top and the spices do not combine with the hops of the Shy Beach. It turns it into a bland piece of garbage. There's like nothing, no taste in here whatsoever. There's a little small taste of the hops. Like it is fighting for a taste on my tongue over the Shock Top. Absolutely fighting, and it's not winning. This is not something you'd find. This would be one of those beers that someone went, oh shit, I mixed the wrong stuff in it. Let's bottle it anyway. That's what they should have said
when they were making Budweiser and Miller Lite.
It tastes better than Budweiser, but not by much.
Well, that is pretty bad.
But it is bland, it's unfiltered, and it's really kind of gross. Like it's just not something I would drink at all. And yet I have a full glass of it. I got a full glass. God.
The look on your face is priceless.
Well, it's true. I'm just glad. I always try to save some. If I do a bad beer and good beer, I always try and save something of the good beer. So thankfully, I have the good beer left over.
Now, see, I can tell that's a beautiful tone to it.
It is. It's a beautiful tone, and it's actually it's great taste. I like this brewery. I got to find more of their stuff. I've gotten been hesitant because it feels like they've been around for a while, but they've got some really good beers out there that kind of complement everything. So, no, it's not that bad at all. So yeah, I'm not sure right now, but I think that's pretty much all I really have to talk about. I know that this was a major thing that we had going on, and I honestly didn't want to not leave it. Like I wanted to bring it up because there's a lot of craft beers out there that are going to be hurt by this, or they're going to try and bully their way into things. I could see them coming into some of the breweries going, hey, we'll pay you this much money if you disappear. And those ones that say no, keep saying no, because those are the ones that they are actually afraid of. Pardon me. I honestly hope that this merger doesn't go through. Oh, and again, I'm sorry. And I really hope that the smaller craft beer breweries do fight back, because it's worth it. People like myself who've been doing craft beer reviews for a few years will stand by you. I just don't have the funds to stand by you, but I will stand by you.
Hey, every dollar counts.
Exactly. Oh, God. But yeah, I think, I honestly think that this is going to be one of those ones that's going to be going for a few years. And I really hope that it ends up with the smaller guys winning. And I really hope that it ends up where the bigger guys just have to walk away. They've spent too much money and they have to walk away, and the small guys win. Like I hope that for the people like myself, I will support the small craft breweries because they actually have the passion and the drive. And even as they get bigger, like places like Parallel 49, they still have the passion, they still have the drive, and they still have what goes into a proper craft beer properly. Like it's one of those things. Big Rock's the same. They have the passion and drive. They're not out there to make the money. They're out there to give the public something good to have. For example, Big Rock actually came out with a 6-pack called 1985, and it was their 30th year anniversary. 30 years they've been involved in the market of selling beer, and they didn't go off and sell it to today's prices. This 6-pack they sold as 1985 prices. So I bought a 6-pack for $8 instead of 50.
That says a lot about the quality of the brewery too. I mean, that's a lot. Wow. I don't even know and quite understand how they can really afford to do that.
Easy. They've got all these other beers that they can afford to keep at the same price, and they put their name on other ones, like Co-op Gold is part of Big Rock Brewery, even though it's Co-op's name on it, Big Rock still brews it for them. But I mean, like, this is part and parcel of what they do as a passion towards the people. Like, but they also did it as a 6-pack of their 3 first beers they ever did as Big Rock Brewery. So they did their bitter, they did their traditional, and they did a porter. And it was, I do believe it was the original recipes for all 3. So it was one of those ones that, yeah, we're going to show you what we did in 1985, give you the 1985 prices, and enjoy. Here you go. We have all these other products at regular prices, but we're going to give you the set of discount because we're special like that. We will do this for you. And that's the passion and drive I like seeing out of breweries. It's great. I'd love to see more.
You've done a lot of reviews from Big Rock Brewery, haven't you?
Quite a few. I still have to review those 3 beers, which is coming up soon. I've got them on my lineup for review, so that's coming up soon. But yeah, I don't think there hasn't been a beer that I have missed in about 1.5 to 2 years from them that I haven't reviewed.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's a lot of beer I've drank. But no, I think that's one of the better things. So, however, I should probably get on because I do need to probably eat something. These beers are hitting me harder than they really should be. Those few chips I had before the show just doesn't cut it, and I'm probably going to need to have something real to eat. That, and I've got a woodpecker that I have to deal with to see where he's at and see where I'm at in this battle. So I want to thank you for joining us, or joining me. Joining us, God. Booze Reviews is an us company because I've got more than one person reviewing beer. What can I say? But thank you for joining me, and hopefully others do see what happens. And I really hope that this whole merger, $100 billion merger, just goes down the drain as a bad beer does when you pour it down there itself. But yeah, thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too, and I will be back in a couple of weeks. I'm going to try and stay either a Friday or Saturday night every couple of weeks, or Saturday afternoon to do this. But hopefully I will have more time of when I know I'm going to be doing it. I want to try and get a standard schedule down so that we have more than one person viewing it live, that is, they view it afterwards. So for now, I'm obviously PK from Booze Reviews, and this has been my gracious guest, Jessica, all the way from this, I want to say southern states, but that's not right, eastern states?
Southeast, North Carolina, Western North Carolina. No.
And that's what confused me. It's southeast, but it's Northern Carolina.
Yeah. Well, because you got South Carolina, North Carolina, and it's like the top part of North Carolina, almost to Virginia.
Okay, all right. I've got to go back and do my geography lessons on that because I
Yeah, it's
kind of.
Oops,
But
bad. Anyways,
well, at least you know where you live. That's a good thing. As a Canuck, I failed geography, U.S. geography, so that's my problem. I couldn't name all 50 states even if I tried. I still can't to this very day. What's that?
do that. It's over there. Whatever their names are.
There we go. So, but yeah, I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and hopefully, I've got some better news than this disturbing news out of the beer industry. And who knows? I might actually start looking at other things like wine, whiskeys, but my liver won't be able to take all of it, so I have to probably do something else. But for now, I've been PK. You've been Jessica, and we've been your gracious host for well, pretty much just over an hour. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks again, and cheers.
Bye.